Today, we're talking about something that affects every student, every creator, and honestly, every person trying to build a future right now. For a very long time, opportunity was controlled by gatekeepers. Big institutions decided who got access, who got noticed, and who got left behind. But something massive is changing. The internet, open platforms, artificial intelligence, and direct access to information are breaking down barriers that used to feel impossible to cross. This presentation is really about one question. What happens when ordinary people no longer need permission to participate? Because when systems become open, power shifts. And when power shifts, the future changes with it. This is Steve Koleno, and this is Confidential Remarks. For decades, success operated like an exclusive club. There was always a velvet rope. Certain schools, companies, industries, and institutions acted like they owned the entrance to opportunity. They decided who looked qualified enough, connected enough, or important enough to move forward. And if you didn't come from the right background, know the right people, or have the right money, the door often stayed closed. What's important to understand is that these systems were not accidental. They were designed to protect insiders. The message was simple. Wait your turn, follow the process, and maybe someday you'll get access. But for millions of people, that access never came. One of the biggest tools old systems used was information asymmetry. That's just a complicated way of saying one side had information and the other side didn't. Institutions kept prices confusing, rules hidden, opportunities unclear. If you didn't understand how the system worked, you became dependent on the people inside the system. Think about college admissions, investing, healthcare, publishing, or even getting a job years ago. Most people had no idea how decisions were really made. And when information stays hidden, power stays concentrated. The less people know, the easier they are to control. But once information becomes public, the walls start collapsing. What we're witnessing right now is a complete shift in power. Old systems protected incumbents. In other words, they protected the people already winning. But modern systems are increasingly designed around the individual. Instead of artificial scarcity, we now have abundance. Instead of hidden information, we now have transparency. Instead of being assigned a path, people can now design their own. That changes everything. A teenager with a laptop today can learn skills, build an audience, launch a business, create art, or develop software without asking anyone for permission first. The gatekeeper is losing power because the network itself is becoming open. Open systems give people three powerful advantages. The first is transparency. Today, prices, reviews, rankings, tutorials, and knowledge are public. You no longer need insiders to explain everything to you because information is everywhere. The second advantage is abundance. Knowledge used to be locked away in libraries, universities, and elite institutions. Now, almost anyone with internet access can learn from the best teachers in the world. And the third advantage is agency. Agency means having the ability to act for yourself. Today, someone in a small town can compete globally. They can apply for remote jobs, build online businesses, publish content, or connect directly with opportunities. That level of access would have sounded impossible 20 years ago. Old systems forced people through long funnels. You had to fill out endless forms, wait months for responses, follow rigid application cycles, and hope someone eventually noticed you. The process itself became a barrier. But technology is removing that friction. Today, creators connect directly with audiences. Freelancers connect directly with clients. Students connect directly with employers. The network is replacing the middleman. And when direct connection becomes possible, speed increases dramatically. Instead of waiting years for permission, people can now start building immediately. Think about how people used to book travel. You had to visit a travel agency. The agent controlled the options you saw. You relied completely on their recommendations. Today, your phone gives you more information than entire travel offices had decades ago. You can compare flights, read reviews, see prices instantly, and make decisions yourself. That's what transparency does. It removes dependence. And this same transformation is happening everywhere. Education, finance, media, entertainment, and employment. The industries may look different, but the pattern is always the same. When information becomes open, control starts disappearing. For centuries, education was tied to physical institutions. If you couldn't enter the building, you often couldn't access the knowledge. But that model is breaking apart. Today, students anywhere in the world can take online courses from top universities, watch free tutorials, join coding communities, and build portfolios that prove real skill. And employers are starting to care more about what people can do than where they came from. That's a huge shift. Because when learning becomes open, talent can emerge from anywhere. Not just wealthy cities, not just elite schools, anywhere. For a long time, geography controlled opportunity. If the best jobs were in another city, another state, or another country, many people were simply excluded. But remote work is changing that equation. Today, companies hire based on skills more than physical location. Digital portfolios, online interviews, and remote collaboration tools allow talent to move beyond geography. That means opportunity can now follow ability instead of zip code. And for younger generations, this shift is enormous. You are growing up in a world where your skills can travel farther than you ever physically could before. There was a time when a small number of publishers, producers, and executives controlled public attention. If they rejected you, your voice often disappeared. But now, platforms allow people to publish directly to global audiences. Writers can self-publish. Filmmakers can upload content instantly. Musicians can distribute songs worldwide from their bedrooms. The audience itself now decides what matters. That doesn't mean quality disappears. It means access expands. And once access expands, creativity explodes. Creative industries used to demand surrender. Artists often signed away ownership, control, and revenue just to get exposure. But digital tools changed the balance of power. Today, independent creators have analytics, direct distribution, social platforms, subscription models, and global audiences available instantly. A creator with a phone and internet connection can now build something meaningful without waiting for a major company to approve them first. That shift matters because ownership matters. The more control creators have over their work, the more freedom they have over their future. Across nearly every industry, the same cycle keeps repeating. First, hidden information becomes public. Then scarcity disappears because technology increases access. And finally, friction gets removed through direct connection. That process breaks monopolies apart. Because once people can compare options openly, connect directly, and move freely, it becomes very difficult for closed systems to regain total control. This is not just happening in one industry, it's happening everywhere. And the pace of change is accelerating. This is the most important idea in the entire presentation. You are not trapped waiting for permission anymore. The tools that once belonged only to institutions are now available to individuals. Information is open. Access is expanding. Opportunity is becoming more direct. But openness also creates responsibility. Because if the barriers are lower, then initiative matters more. The people who thrive in this new world will not be the ones who wait. They will be the ones who learn continuously, adapt quickly, and build courageously. You are no longer just a passenger, following a path designed by someone else. You now have the ability to design your own blueprint. And that may be the biggest shift of all. This has been Confidential Remarks.